So I think I've found someone who takes criticism even worse than Bring Halo Back, and no, I'm sadly not joking. Bonza is a commentary YouTuber whose main content consists of criticizing other people's content, which makes his complete lack of ability to take criticism all the more ironic. And the reason I hold Bring Halo Back above Bonza is because, as far as I'm aware, Bring Halo Back hasn't gone out of his way to ban his own fans from speaking on his server, because they dared to criticize him. Now, if you aren't aware, Bonza uploaded a video on a YouTuber by the name of Griffin Gaming, and to sum up his first video, I can only describe it as pure dog shit. But before we get into that, I want to talk about what you're all here for, and that is how Bonza has a complete lack of ability to take any criticism whatsoever, even though he calls people cowards for not criticizing his content to his face, and even when he invites people to disprove his points, he still spurges out and bans you if you ever dare go against what he says. And even he admits it himself that if you criticize him, he will ban you from his server, which is pathetic as fuck. I mean, you can't even make this shit up. He is quite literally a walking contradiction. He says people are welcome to disprove his arguments, but when you do, he wants the discussion to end by muting people because frankly he has no debating skills whatsoever, and if he did ever try to debate someone, he would have to continue to resort to pseudo logic to even have a chance of winning. He constantly calls people cowards, losers and so on, whilst running away from all forms of criticism, if it is in a setting where there is a legitimate debate happening. I do find it incredibly ironic that he'll call me a loser for making a video on him, but he was too afraid to actually have an argument where he couldn't abuse any power he has over the person he is debating, proven by him running away from my Discord server as soon as I drop a definition that completely dissolved his entire argument about Griffin quote unquote slandering him. But we'll get to that later. Now, if you weren't convinced that Bonza was unable to take any forms of criticism, then hopefully the fact he went out and started banning his own subscribers from his Discord server for quite literally just being in my Discord server will hopefully convince you. So to give you some context, Bonza joined my Discord server and then instantly left for some reason, but he did return later, and when I let him out of the verification chat, which I used to see if people are on alts or not, he didn't speak at all until I put him back into the verification chat, which as you saw earlier, he dipped from the server when I sent a definition. And then soon after leaving my server for a second time, suddenly people like Anime Lord got banned. And the best part about that is when someone asked why Bonza banned Anime Lord, he stated it was for several reasons, but from all of the screenshots I've seen, he never stated a single reason. Now let's get to the reason as to why I was banned from his server. I was banned from his server for stating factual information that Bonza didn't like. But before we look at those messages, here is the clip that made Bonza make his horrendously bad video.
You know, he is a skinhead.
Okay, no, that's actually like slander. That was legitimately slander.
Now most of you are probably thinking to yourselves, what the fuck did Griffin say that was slander in that clip? Well, absolutely nothing, but according to Bonza, reading out a donation is slander. But even if Griffin wasn't reading out a donation, that still would not be slander, because skinhead quite literally just means someone with a shaved head. However, Bonza didn't like me pointing that out in his server when he falsely claimed that Griffin was slandering him, and so he muted me. Plus, Bonza loved to point out how him and Griffin both live in the US, as if that changes anything to the meaning of the phrase in this context, which unsurprisingly it does not. But the best part about all of this is Griffin never called him a skinhead, so even if Bonza was right about the definition, which I want to make very clear he is not, then that still doesn't change the fact Griffin only read out a super chat and never called Bonza a skinhead himself, showed by the clip Bonza used himself. What can I say, if you let a stupid person talk, they'll eventually expose themselves. And after he muted me, I decided to DM him to call him out on his bullshit, and he decided the best response to that would be to ban me from his server, which I don't know about you guys, but that seems like a bitch move to me. And honestly, that's hilarious as fuck considering how much Bonza loves to call Griffin a pussy. After he banned me, he continues to argue with me, and obviously I can't argue back, because I'm banned. But hey guys, at least he proved my point himself. He doesn't like arguing with people if they can argue back straight away. And he even goes as far to quote a definition, but the best part about that is number one, he used a fucking Webster definition, aka a definition from one of the least respected dictionaries, and number two, he purposely lies about what the top definition is on Webster's fucking website. He completely ignored Webster's top definition so that he could form a false narrative surrounding Griffin Gaming. I still can't stop laughing at the fact even Webster disagrees with him, and out of all the main dictionaries, Oxford doesn't back him up, Cambridge doesn't back him up, dictionary.com doesn't back him up, until the fourth most common definition, and Webster only partially backs him up. Now if he was going to try and claim that the meaning of skinhead was a white supremacist, he would have to prove how Webster have got the definitions the wrong way round, and secondly, he would have to prove how Webster's definition is more factual than the Oxford dictionaries and the Cambridge dictionary's definitions. But he can't do that, because guess what? Webster is far less respected than the Cambridge dictionary, and it is far, far less respected than the Oxford dictionary. He would need to prove how Webster's definition should be held above the two most reputable dictionaries on the planet, and boy would that be virtually impossible to do. I mean, the fact he refused to even acknowledge that words have different meanings is just baffling to me. But hey, I guess you can't spin a false narrative if you use basic common sense. Now, whilst I was making the video, Bonza decided to break YouTube's terms of services by sending people to harass one of the people he banned from his server for absolutely no reason. Imagine being so bad at taking criticism, you send your subscribers to harass the person criticizing you in order to silence them. And if you guys didn't know, what Bonza did is a direct break of YouTube's terms of service. Either way, his response was weak as fuck and yet again follows the trend of Bonza making non-arguments via pseudo-logic. He claims that Sir Chubbs deleted his comment, and he also seems to think that Sir Chubbs spotted 11 likes onto his video because for some reason Bonza can't comprehend the fact that maybe, just maybe, not everyone agrees with him 24/7. Plus, he has absolutely no evidence of what he's claiming, which I will show proof of later, but thankfully his pure harassment based tactic has not worked so far, as before Sir Chubbs' video was sat at 5 likes to 3 dislikes, and now that Bonza broke terms of service to silence him, it now has 11 likes compared to 8 dislikes. So I decided to call him out on his bullshit yet again, but this time on Twitter, so you know what he decides to do? Fucking block me, because I was winning the argument. I couldn't begin to imagine getting this bad at taking criticism. He continues to twist definitions to his favour and ignores all other meanings of words, because if he used basic common sense, he wouldn't be able to create a false narrative around Griffin Gaming. It's basically his only skill at this point, and can I just ask, who the fuck is Miles Morales, bro? I mean, even if he's referring to Miles Morales, my profile picture isn't based off of him at all, and most of my subscribers know who it is based off of. My god, this man literally said he's putting a stop to the drama. No bitch, you're hiding from criticism. Imagine running away from the drama you fucking started, bro, and using non-arguments like haha Malefi clone bad. Like, this is just sad. Imagine being a YouTuber who criticizes other people but not being able to take criticism yourself. Bonza also continued banning his own subscribers from his Discord server because they refused to pick sides. I mean, god damn, I couldn't begin to imagine having a complete lack of ability to take criticism, and literally no one broke his server's rules who he banned as well. But now Bonza has decided to go into full damage control mode and pretend that he started the drama to call out stan culture, because as we all know, when you go out your way to harass a 13-year-old in order to silence the criticism they are giving you, you're doing it to call out stan culture. What in the actual fuck is wrong with this man? You aren't calling out stan culture by harassing little kids that criticize you, bro. You're being a pussy, you can't take criticism, and the fact you're still trying to twist this whole situation is bloody disgusting. As I said in the replies to that tweet, if he was trying to expose stan culture, the man wouldn't have started the drama himself, and he certainly wouldn't have blocked everyone calling him out. He ended up deleting a few tweets about me, which is beyond pathetic. As well as this, he has been in Sir Chubbs' DMs calling him a prepubescent brown-nosing snake, whilst also admitting he knew that he was going out of his way to harass a 13-year-old kid who dared criticize him. Also, we could have solved this issue in private, but you decided to ban us all from your Discord server, leave my Discord server after I tried to talk to you, and then block everyone criticizing you on Twitter. Fuck off with your holier than thou bullshit. Plus, he ended up deleting his own comment on Sir Chubbs' video to then play the victim in order to say Sir Chubbs deleting it. Now, with all of that said, let's talk about his videos on Griffin. In short, I can describe Bonza's first video as completely idiotic and a pathetic attempt of an exposed video where he calls Griffin a Leafy clone, while simultaneously uploading what is essentially the filler parts of a Nicholas Diorio video as his actual content.
The channel's name is Griffin Gaming, and he basically steals Leafy's editing style, Leafy's comedy type, even how he talks.
I mean, god forbid two YouTubers have similar accents. Plus, Leafy didn't really have an editing style to copy from anyway, unless you count shitty editing as a style.
Dude, like, what person in the dressing room let this man walk on stage wearing that shit? You know, if Naughty Dog took the biggest W of the night, this man definitely took the biggest L, because
Insults based on appearance. Same vocal type. CS Surf gameplay.
See, you have a problem with criticizing how someone is dressed, but you'll happily make fun of Griffin for something he can't change, like his voice and accent. I mean, how dare someone have the same accent as someone else? Also, I really don't get why this guy thinks surf gameplay is something bad to use, or how he thinks anyone who uses it is a Leafy clone. I hate to break it to you, Bonza, but surf gameplay is very common in the commentary community, and guess what? It's because most people find it enjoyable to watch.
There is a fucking Bible of how to criticize.
If the point was to intentionally transform a character I once admired into a despicable piece of shit without fully committing to that transformation in a consistent way, just to convey some elementary level half-assed lessons on violence and empathy and forgiveness and love and hate.
I'm not gonna lie, I think you missed the entire point of his videos on The Last of Us 2. They weren't there to criticize the game, they were there to milk it for ad revenue and to mock it. He wasn't trying to properly critique the game. And that is pretty much all he says in his original video on Griffin Gaming, so let's look at his response video to Griffin watching Bonza's video in a live stream along with several other videos. But I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty bad.
It's quite evident how we have him genuinely cornered.
How exactly do you have him cornered, because everything is showing the complete opposite? Griffin isn't hurting from your videos at all, and there is definitely no evidence to show that he is.
And a 211,000 subscriber channel picks on a 5K channel.
He's not fucking picking on you. You were the one who made an exposed video on him which he merely responded to. The sub argument is so fucking stupid, it's unbelievable as well. Sub counts are completely irrelevant to almost everything. Just because someone has more subs than you doesn't mean they're picking on you. You're the one who initiated this, not Griffin.
And does so in the most pussy way possible by deleting the fucking stream right after.
He does that for every single live stream. You aren't special. Also, it's ironic that you call him a pussy when you yourself banned your own subscribers from your Discord server because they didn't agree with you on one thing, and because they were on my server. I mean, holy shit, imagine calling people pussies and then banning people from your own server because they dared to criticize you after you asked for people to criticize you to your face. I mean, I personally didn't even get banned from your server for breaking any rules, and neither did anyone else for the most part.
I gotta be really honest with you guys. This backdrop might not have been the best.
Yeah, and sorry, I can't turn it up. Like, this dude, for some reason, decided that, you know, he doesn't know how to use the same fucking mic that I have, and it's really fucking quiet, so...
This is what you wanted, right, Griffin? You wanted me to use the mic like it's supposed to be. Really, unfortunately, I can't because I want to show my face because I'm not a pussy like you.
What in the actual fuck is that audio quality for the clips of Griffin's stream? Also, you don't have to suck your mic for your audio to be hearable in facecam videos. Just boost the sound during the editing process and boom, your problem is solved.
Why the fuck does he have a fucking penis poster up on his wall, dude? That's really fucking serial killer. Like, who the fuck hangs this on their fucking wall? Like anatomical diagrams and shit?
Who has anatomical diagrams on their wall? If you would have taken the bare minimum of clicking through my Twitter, you would have known that I am a med student.
I hate to break it to you, but nobody cares you are a med student. And even if you are a med student, that's still not normal to have medical posters plastered all around your room. As someone who studies computer science, I'm not going to hang a poster on my wall about converting from denary to binary. That's just not normal, and I'm not going to lie, it's pretty weird. Also, why the fuck would Griffin scroll through your Twitter to gain information on you? I don't quite understand why you think you're a big shot, and I also don't quite understand why you want people to stalk you, but my guy, you're definitely not important enough for people to stalk your Twitter.
And he has his blood donor hat on.
Yeah, alright, mate. It's not like we're actually in like a pandemic right now that causes, blood clots to form in the lungs where platelets and blood are in a very short supply. It's not like I made a video talking about how I'm such a fucking huge advocate for donating blood and how much it helps you, the people involved, and also the blood bank, but fuck me, right?
Oh my god. It is amazing how you try and take the moral high ground here, but if
You
you
would've
bothered
taken
to do the
bare
bare minimum of
minimum
clicking through Griffin's
of
server,
clicking
you would
through
have
my
known
Twitter,
that Griffin is
you
also
would've
a
known
blood
that I'm a med
donor.
student.
Virtue signaling is just pathetic, and it's pretty funny that you want Griffin to click through your Twitter to find out you're a med student, but you won't go through his Discord server to find out that he was a blood donor. I always love how people have that rules for thee but not for me mentality, because it just makes my job so much easier.
Dude, he literally has a fucking neck beard.
You know that thing that happens when you're trying to grow a beard, and it's kind of an unfortunate mid-step to it, you know, a neck beard, kind of, yeah. I love how he goes straight back to insulting appearance, too. That's awesome.
You are honestly taking this internet shit way too seriously, my guy. Also again, stop with the moral high ground and the virtue signaling stuff. You literally made fun of his voice, aka something he cannot change, so don't go around pretending that you're somehow better than him for not making fun of people's appearances. You're equally as bad in this situation, and to pretend otherwise is simply disingenuous.
Bro, this motherfucker even has the same headset as me. He has the same mic, the same fucking boom arm, the same headphones. I would not be surprised if this motherfucker has a DX Racer too.
This is so stupid. It's not like these are like the most popular products in those categories. Wow. He stole it. He stole my stuff. Oh, my ego's so tilted.
No, those products are not the most popular in those specific categories, although honestly I've got to semi-agree with Bonza here because I have no clue as to why Griffin even mentions that shit. It's such a pointless thing to point out.
And John Shackleford with the 2, gay, I agree.
Yes, I am. It's so funny how it's January of 2021 and you're using gay as an insult.
Someone saying you are gay is only an insult if you take it as an insult. Also, I don't understand why people say, oh, it's such and such year, how are people still saying stuff like this? No matter what, people are always going to say stuff that you don't like. And to be fair, if you don't want to hear stuff you don't want to hear, go live out in the middle of nowhere in the wilderness of Alaska.
Insults based on appearance.
Does he think moving his fucking camera around is funny? Like, I see, like, commentary channels do this shit all the time where they move the fucking camera around because, you know, face cam videos are so fucking boring. They do anything to keep people's attention. So I guess he's falling for that one.
NVIDIA Broadcast is a very common tool, especially if you're not a pussy and you like to show your face. There's this lovely, lovely thing called autoframe. So what it does is when you're streaming and you don't want to manually set your webcam to be centered on your face, you can actually, like, find more comfortable positions in your room, and your webcam follows you. It's beautiful. Technology is amazing. I think it's fucking awesome.
Or, hear me out, sit still instead of moving around and fidgeting every 2 seconds.
Dude, does he really think he's funny?
Absolutely. More funny than Griffin Gaming? Absolutely, I'm more funny than Griffin Gaming.
Well, good morning to you too, sir. We're so sorry, the complimentary breakfast just ended.
Wow, it's just like real life, man. What the?
Please eject the game out of your Switch so hard that it sounds like an M1 Garand.
In my opinion, again, this is my opinion, those 30 seconds were more funny than Griffin Gaming's entire channel.
You are severely wrong. Those clips were honestly just painful to watch, and those clips were some of the most unfunny jokes and memes I've ever seen in my life. If we're being completely honest here, those only proved Griffin right about you thinking you're funny when you're not. Overall, this part of your video comes off as extremely egotistical, and it would have been a better idea to just cut it out during editing.
Dude, like, that's the thing. I wasn't even trying to critique it. I'm literally just shitting on the game.
Well, guess what, you fucking retard? Shitting on the game is part of critiquing it. It's under that umbrella.
I mean, there is a very hard line between criticism and shitting on someone. On one hand, you're trying to give constructive feedback to someone, and then on the other hand, you have shitting on someone, or something, which is where you just take the piss out of it without offering any constructive feedback.
Given the fact that this dude chose my video, fucking my channel to make fun of for, you know, a face reveal, which is arguably one of the biggest events on your YouTube channel, so... You know, what can I say? I truly feel honored by this.
You're welcome. And you should feel honored, because you got shown off on a channel that's not nearly as fucking lazy as yours is.
Holy shit, are you trying to make people think you've got a superiority complex? Your content is nothing special, my guy. Just like how me and Griffin are your average commentary YouTubers, you are just the average facecam commentary channel. Get off your high horse and come back to reality. Again, this is a clip you honestly should have cut out, because it just makes you look super egotistical. I don't know if this is why he named his channel what he did, but I sure as hell hope he didn't. And thankfully, we have finally reached the end of this guy's second video, meaning that we can finally take a look at Bonza's third fucking video on Griffin.
You know, he is a skinhead.
Okay, no, that's actually, like, slander. That was legitimately slander.
We've already talked about this, but again, no, reading out a bloody super chat is not slander.
I deleted my stream right after, just like I do every single night. What a fucking pussy, am I right, dude? This is what I don't get. Motherfuckers think they're special because I watched their video on a stream, when I literally watch like 5 or 6 other videos every single night. Like, bro, you're not that special. And I delete every single stream every single night, so...
Correct. You do. And if you want to go ahead and make legitimate critiques about somebody, you leave that on your channel. Talking shit about someone and deleting it right after is one of the most cowardly things you can do.
Ironic.
Jesus Christ, this man can't get any less self-aware. How is it cowardly to delete a stream? If anything, you should be thanking him for deleting the streams, because if he didn't, you're more likely to get negative attention on your videos. Plus, why are you triggered? You seriously should not become a YouTuber if you take this internet stuff this damn seriously. The job simply isn't for people with thin skin. Like, does this guy not understand how broken the copyright system is? I really can't grasp how someone who can try and be a YouTuber and not understand that if you leave live streams up, you are more than likely going to receive a copyright claim or even sometimes a strike due to how much stuff goes on during live streams. Plus, out of the 6 videos Griffin would have watched, I can almost guarantee at least one of them contained some form of copyrighted material. And before you try and spin this as somehow him dodging the law, it's not. Everything he does would fall under fair use.
Oh, Griffin Gaming. Oh, what's wrong? You think people are actually gonna come to my video and realize that I'm actually saying something true? You gotta make sure it's on a stream so that only your most diehard fans watch and only 1,000 on a 200,000 channel?
I don't think Bonza understands what time zones are. Having 1,000 viewers at the same time on a live stream, plus maintaining that for about 5 hours is good, and the fact you think otherwise shows your disconnect from reality. It's extremely ironic that Bonza says Griffin's channel is dying when the only reason he became a commentary YouTuber was to revive his dead gaming channel. Also again, why is Bonza so goddamn upset over this? He says he wants Griffin to make a video on him, but from looking at how he's been reacting to Griffin watching his videos on stream, it wouldn't surprise me if he teared up after Griffin made a video on him. I really don't understand why this guy thinks he's exposed Griffin by calling him a leafy clone, since Griffin constantly calls himself one, and so does his subscribers.
Let's see if his second stream about me holds any weight. He says that I'm just trying to do it for clout. No, I upload because my channel has an expiration date, and I want to put out as much funny and calling out as many lazy people as possible.
Everyone does YouTube for the views and money. To even try and pretend otherwise is simply disingenuous. And if you weren't doing this for the views, you wouldn't have started making commentary videos to begin with, since if you guys didn't know, he used to upload gaming videos according to one of his subscribers, and his channel was dying until he started making commentary videos. Plus, you wouldn't have made your Toki Tom videos because frankly there was no point in them other than to get views, since you just repeated what everyone else has already said.
But let's see if his second stream about me.
Those streams weren't about you. I don't know if you're trying to come off as egotistical, but you seriously need to work on this shit. You were in a grand total of about 20 minutes during his about 3 or 5 hour stream. The stream was not about you, and it's insanely egotistical to believe it was. I don't know why you want to act like you're a big shot YouTuber, because you aren't, and it doesn't look good for your channel when you're constantly leaving pretentious and egotistical shit in your videos.
It's really sad. Like, you actually think I give enough? Like, give enough of a fuck to actually go to your fucking Twitter profile and learn about you.
I'm Griffin. I don't give enough of a shit. This is why this is my second stream that I'm gonna delete right after, because Sean actually has points that I don't really want people to actually look into.
This shit is just sad at this point. Stop acting like the streams were about you, they weren't. And my god, you never made any points. Your original video was you literally just spurging out and spewing leafy clone bad around whilst making no substantial arguments. Pointing out 2 people who have the same accent is not a fucking substantial argument, and if you think it is, then you should probably take your own advice and look at the quote-unquote Bible of criticism.
Dude,
Dude, just try. Can you try, please?
Nobody has to try when responding to stuff as weak as your content, and frankly, you are trying way too hard to be funny right now.
Oh my god, dude, is he literally going, oh my god, dude, it's not like we're in a pandemic right now. You're really doing the fucking pandemic virtue signaling?
So if you're gonna say that I virtue signaled about giving blood and say that's a bad thing, you're an idiot.
There's a very big difference between virtue signaling and promoting blood donation. On one hand, you have a pretentious wanker who acts like they're superior to everyone else for donating blood, and on the other hand, you have people who say that you should do it because it's good for people. You were doing it to prove you were better than Griffin, which, as I showed earlier, is as usual with you, highly ironic considering the fact Griffin is also a blood donor, but doesn't virtue signal about it like you do. The way you promote donating blood is like how that vegan teacher promotes veganism, excluding her racist and homophobic comments. Instead of explaining how it's good and why you should do it, you instead resorted to taking the moral high ground over Griffin inside that video.
That video has already saved 5 lives. And that's from people who were vocal about giving blood. Maybe there's people who also give blood. That video is saving lives, and you're mad about it.
You seriously need to get off your high horse, bro. It's amazing to me that this was the guy complaining that Griffin wouldn't stalk his Twitter, but then he couldn't even bother to do what he wanted Griffin to do. Your video, I can guarantee, hasn't saved anyone. It hasn't had a big enough reach to do so. There is a time and a place to promote this stuff when criticizing someone that is not the time nor place to do so. And to be completely honest, you've probably made more people not want to donate blood than want to thanks to your video on Griffin. If you want to promote this stuff, you don't do it in a way where you use it to make yourself look better than other people. Also, nobody in this situation is mad apart from you. Griffin was quite literally just laughing at you, and that's it. As I've said several times already, you 100% need to take this internet shit less seriously, but the best part about him constantly mentioning how he's a med student is that he seems to think he's better than other people because he's a med student. You aren't a fucking doctor. Anyone can be a med student, and as per usual with this guy, it's yet another non-argument.
You know, he is a skinhead.
Okay, no, that's actually like slander. That was legitimately slander. I have hair. I'm growing it out because I'm not really happy with, you know, the midsection that it's at, but, you know, when I look to the left and right, you can see I have hair here.
This is a serious question, and I don't want you to take it as an insult. Do you have issues with your hearing? All he did was read a donation in that clip you showed. And either way, if he did call you a skinhead, that's still not slander. Nobody cares if you have a bald head, bro. And that definitely wouldn't ruin your reputation, or damage it in the slightest.
But you decided to slander and call me a neo-Nazi anyways?
He read out a donation. He never called you a neo-Nazi, and either way, as I showed earlier, that isn't the definition of a skinhead. Even the Webster definition you purposely lied about in your video doesn't fully back you up. The most common meaning of skinhead is literally just short hair or a shaven head. It's not that deep, bro.
Oh, I guarantee you he's watching right now because he had to record this shit when I was streaming last night because the video was deleted immediately after.
No, maybe I just have, you know, fans that are shared between our sub bases, and he just recorded it on his phone. Maybe that's also why the audio quality is so garbage. I don't know. Maybe maybe I don't know.
Well, at least we figured out why the quality is so shit.
Oh my fuck, is he really gonna do this shit? It's so funny that it's January of 2021. Is he gonna say using gay as an insult? That's so cringe. Like,
It's so funny how he acts like he's all high and mighty. Like, watch me call out like every part of the video when I obviously have seen it before. Look how fucking cool I am, guys.
The only person acting high and mighty in this situation is yourself, and maybe if everything you said wasn't predictable as fuck, then you wouldn't be able to predict it.
dude, this guy's more funny than me. This is supposed to be funny?
Yes, I absolutely am more funny than Griffin Gaming.
Shut up.
Fuck you, Mike. And I fucked up. I'm not even mad. I'm like sad. Like, it's fucking sad. Like someone just like shot the family dog, and I'm just like fucking sad. I don't understand why I'm feeling just despair.
You're goddamn right, I'm from the United fucking States.
No wonder you had to quit making gaming videos. Like, that was just painful to watch. And again, it was some of the most unfunny shit I've seen in my entire life, and you should have 100% cut it out of your video.
Dude, this guy's more funny than me. This dude's not as lazy as me. Yeah, fucking huge doubt on that shit.
Fascinating. Fascinating. It's not like setting up a backdrop, having lighting, making sure you look alright, having clean clothes, making sure that your hat is properly positioned on your head. Wow, it's not like that takes more effort than recording a game and just talking over it. Holy shit!
Your lighting in this specific video of yours is horrendous, and most of what you said should be something you normally do. Why aren't you wearing clean clothes when you aren't making a video? That's pretty unhygienic, and as a med student you should definitely know better. Even if we ignore that, bro, your backdrop is something you set up once and clearly you didn't put much effort into it anyway. I mean, look at how slanted it is. Plus, the rest of what Bonza said really does not take any effort whatsoever and really does not prove how he's less lazy than Griffin. Is this guy really trying to claim he puts a ton of effort into his content when most of his videos are of mediocre quality and 2 to 4 minutes long compared to Griffin's videos, which are usually between 10 to 25 minutes long but are also of mediocre quality?
Straight up, I want to say this right now. This video has more effort put into it than Griffin Gaming's entire channel.
I don't think I'll ever figure out why loads of commentary channels seem to have massive fucking egos and why they always seem to think they're better than every other commentary channel. But another thing I love about this is how Bonza has basically turned into Turkey Tom, the very man he hates. He ignores criticism and lies through his teeth to form false narratives. Whilst I was making this video, he decided to disable invites for his Discord server. God damn, him calling everyone a pussy couldn't get more ironic. Now we have finally reached the end of Bonza's third video on Griffin, so with that being said, you've either managed to reach this point in the video because you either hate me or you've really enjoyed it, so please do not forget to subscribe even if you dislike me, because unlike Bonza, I am open to criticism, and also don't forget to like as well as comment so that I can see you all in my next video.